so I'm going to start jelly printing again. So this is a jelly plate that I've made up out of gelatin and glycerin, and I'll put the recipe that I used up on my blog. I'm actually using De La Rowney acrylic paints. I'm just pouring the paint onto the jelly print, and then I'm literally just rolling over it with a brayer. And what I've got at the side here as well is a little spare pad, so that any stamping or brayering that I'm doing, I can just get that excess paint off onto the pad, and then I'm not wasting anything. Okay, so I'm going to try a first print by putting a little bag from a bag of oranges, the netting from that, over the top. I'm just going to leave that on there, I think. I'm going to get a fresh piece of paper and place it on top of the jelly plate, and then take my first impression from there and see what we get. Okay, lovely. So that's the first print. Yeah, really like that. That's lovely. Okay, but we've got plenty of paint still on that paper still, and I've got some ones that I did a bit earlier on. Some of them are again jelly prints, and some of them are just, when I actually used the roller, I just rolled the excess paint off onto the paper. So I think I'm going to actually use that one and go over the top and see what happens there. Hi Beverly, how you doing? Right, now then let's have a little look at that. Oh, yes, I like that. So that's a result of an overprint of some excess paint and then the netting from an orange bag. Now if I peel that off, I could probably just use that to print something else with, but I think I'll leave it there for the minute. Hope you're doing all right, Beverly. All good? Right, let's try some more. I think I'm going to try going for a bit of an orangey colour. There we go. And then a bit of red. Right, let's just mix those up. Oh, that looks nice just as it is. I'm going to take some prints out of it. Before I do that, I'm just going to get this bit of paper and get the excess onto there. Oh, that looks lovely as well, just the excess roll. That's really nice. I can save that for later. Right, I'm going to take a rubber stamp now. Just a foam rubber stamp, this one. I'm just going to press it in, take it off. The excess, I'm actually just going to randomly print onto another sheet of paper because I don't want to lose that excess. I'm just going to stamp off the sides. And then I want to add a bit more texture. So I think I'm going to get some bubble wrap. Press the bubble wrap in. see it off. And again, I don't want to lose that paint on there, so I'm going to put that paint on here. Okay. Right. And then let's take a print from that place, see what that looks like. Hi Louise, how are you doing? Right, so this is going to be interesting. We've got bubble wrap texture on here and rubber stamp texture on here, so let's see what we get. Oh yes, lovely. There we go, so we've got bits of the spirals on there and bits of the bubble wrap. So that's come out really nicely, I think. And then what I'm going to do now, that's the overstamping that I used all the excess paint on, so I think I'm going to use that and put a little bit more on here and then see if I can get a second print off there. I think I'll go for a slightly, maybe some green. Oh, bubble wrap, Louise, I use it for absolutely everything, but printmaking wise, not necessarily packing anything with. Right, there's a green up from here. Again, I'm just going to flip that bit of page over because I want to keep my excess paint in a minute. Roll it all on. Right, so that excess paint I'm just going to roll onto the spare page here. I can keep that for a later date. Right, now I did have, I'm going to try this. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm just going to give it a go. So this is some ribbon, just offcuts of ribbon. I'm not sure how the paint's going to come through here. It could just give me like a blank space, or it could bring some paint through. So this is an experiment. We're just going to have a little look. And I'm going to use this one and print over the top of that one. Definitely need to have a go, Louise. I'll have to show you at some point. Right, let's see. So it's always worth experimenting and just seeing what happens. Actually, that didn't come out too badly. It's hidden. Instead of bringing out any ribbon texture, it's actually masked it off really. I can see a tiny little bit of the ribbon texture through, but not too much, but it's more of a masked effect, that one. So I'm going to definitely do a second printing over here, or a third printing rather. But if I take this off, let's see what we've got here. That leaves quite a delicate print on the plate itself, so let me have a little play with that. Press that on and pull it off. I'm going to press that down anyway onto this spare bit of paper, and then let's see what comes off here. I'm not expecting great things from this one, but let's just have a look anyway, see what's what. Oh, now it has come out. You can see the texture of the ribbon there. So that's quite nice. I need to experiment with that a little bit more. Maybe not using two separate prints, but actually just working in one print. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll put that to one side. Right, let's get a bit of a purpley colour going on. Thanks, Louise. I think it's just a question of experimenting with it, really. It's, you don't know what you're going to get until you've actually pulled the paper off. So it's just having a bit of fun with it, really. Now I'm going to use a bit of that orange bag again. So this is just off the bag of oranges. So I'm just going to lay it across. Because it's quite long, I'll just move it around. See where we get. I've also got some little texture stamps here as well. I don't know if that might be a little bit too much of that. I don't know, let's give it a go. I mean, the texture stamp itself is lovely. But obviously, that needs to be worked with a bit. Let's get another bit of paper. I can see I'm going to get through a whole ream of printer paper here in a very short space of time. Because it's just too much fun. Each time that you have a go of one, you think, right, well, I need to print another one up now and see what happens. Interesting. I think that would probably benefit from a second print. Or something else over the top. Yeah, I might just put that to one side. But I'm going to use this paint that's on here already, so I'm just going to use that one. I definitely need something else, so I'll put that one to one side and let that dry. Peel it off. See what else we can play with. I might try using some metallic paint and see how that comes up. I know, I think you could waste a whole day. Not waste a whole day, but definitely while away a whole day doing this, Louise. Oops, a bit much, but that's fine, we can work with that. Right, let's put that up. That's nice. I might just try drawing in with one of these spreaders and just see what happens there. Oh yeah, definitely ink everywhere. Wow, that's picked up some of the colour from underneath that was already on the paper. I quite like that. Lovely. Right, so that was, oh, I'm going to have to take a print of this actually that's on here already. In fact, I might just take this random one here and just put a print over the top. I can't make it any worse than it was, so let's just see if it gets any better. Oh yeah, I quite like that. Let's brighten it up a little bit. Hello there, Joanne. Nice to see you. Yep, that's fun. I like that. Right, I'm going to use up some of this paint on here. I think I'm going to go for a bit more of the bubble wrap and the netting because I really like that. That's far too much, so I'm just going to take a little bit off and put it in a palette. There we go. Right, so I kind of wonder is the paint that we've left on already is going to show through underneath when we do a little print. So I think that might be quite nice because I don't know if you can see there's some blues and things in there. You probably can't quite see it on the screen. Just going to get that excess there. I'm going to go back to, let's try playing with the ribbon again because that was a really nice effect. So I'm going to press the ribbon on. Let's get some different shapes. I'm going to just cut a little bit. And cut a little bit off there, that's fine. Right, now I'm not going to print using that. What I've actually done is pressed the ribbon in and then I'm going to peel the ribbon off now before I take a print and see what we get, if there's anything that comes through from there. Again, this is just an experiment, so we'll just see what happens. There might be something showing, there might not. Oh yes, you can see a little bit of the ribbon. Again, this needs experimenting with. See you later, Louise, bye. This needs experimenting with, but yeah. You can see little bits of that ribbon coming through, so I'm going to work on that a little bit more. Right, so I'm just going to go through the prints that I've just made in this session, just so you can have a little look. And then that'll be me for the evening, probably. So I think there's a nice variety of things there. Again, that was an interesting experiment, that one. I think that can be worked with. And a couple more. That's really random and wild. Quite like that. Yeah, so I'm all in all, although this is my first go with a jelly plate, I'm really enjoying it. And I'll be experimenting a bit more and see what else I can come up with. So thanks for joining me, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.